Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we blend casual conversations with insightful discussions on the latest in technology and gadgets.
Sounds fun.
The AI world has been crazy lately.
Oh, yeah.
NVIDIA stock took a dip.
Hmm.
China is making noise with this DeepSeek thing.
Right.
And everyone is trying to figure out what it all means for the future of AI and cloud computing.
Yeah. It's a really interesting time.
You've probably seen the headlines, but we're going to dive into some of the details you might have missed.
Definitely.
So let's start with NVIDIA.
Okay.
They were on fire last year. I mean, their revenue doubled,
Wow.
going from about $17 billion to over $36 billion.
That's a lot.
But then their stock took a 16% nosedive.
Oh, wow.
We're talking $500 billion in market value just disappearing.
Yeah, that's more than the entire value of some huge companies.
Oof, gone. Like, what happened?
Well, it does seem dramatic.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember that such rapid growth isn't always sustainable.
Right.
What we're seeing with NVIDIA is likely a natural market correction.
You think of it as the escalator up, elevator down phenomenon.
Interesting.
Things can climb slowly but drop incredibly fast.
Makes sense.
Institutional investors, the big players,
Yeah.
are likely taking a wait-and-see approach.
So they're not panicking?
No, they're just being cautious.
Okay, so NVIDIA, they're heavily tied to their innovation cycles, right?
Exactly.
Just like how Apple relies on those new iPhones.
Yeah, to keep things exciting.
And a big chunk of their revenue comes from those massive cloud companies. Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, the big names.
Right.
And it depends how much they're willing to spend on their big tech projects.
Yeah, their capital expenditure budgets.
If those companies tighten their belts...
NVIDIA feels it.
Okay, so it's not necessarily a sign that NVIDIA is in trouble.
No, not at all.
It's more like a reality check for the market.
Precisely.
They need to keep innovating.
Yes.
And keep meeting the demands of those huge spenders.
In the long run.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about China.
Okay. They've launched this DeepSeek initiative.
Right.
And some people are saying this is like a Sputnik moment for the U.S.
Interesting.
Like that wake-up call that happened when the Soviets launched the first satellite?
Yeah.
Is China really about to, leapfrog ahead in the AI race?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it?
It is.
There's a lot of buzz around DeepSeek.
Yeah, I've seen it.
But it's important to separate hype from reality.
Right.
Are they truly innovating?
Yeah.
Or are they just leveraging technology that's, shall we say, borrowed?
Ooh, shady dealings.
Well, let's just say there are definitely some concerns about intellectual property.
Okay.
But beyond that, China's reliance on Taiwan for chip manufacturing.
Right.
That's a major vulnerability. If that supply chain gets disrupted, it could have huge implications for everyone.
So that brings us to the CHIPS Act.
Okay.
The U.S. government poured billions of dollars into boosting domestic chip production.
They did.
But has it been effective?
Well, throwing money at a problem doesn't always guarantee a solution, does it?
True.
It seems like we need a more strategic approach.
Yeah.
Focusing on the growth of U.S. companies.
Yeah.
Companies that can actually produce the kind of high-end chips that we need.
Right.
It's not just about quantity.
Yeah.
It's about quality and technological edge.
So the jury's still out on whether the CHIPS Act will be a game changer.
That's a fair assessment.
All right.
We'll have to wait and see how things play out.
So meanwhile, we have companies like Microsoft and Meta.
Yeah.
They're spending tens of billions of dollars every year on AI.
I know, it's incredible.
And cloud development.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're in an arms race to see who can spend the most.
There's definitely a sense of that.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder,
What's that?
are we on the cusp of a massive AI boom?
Huh.
Or are we headed for a colossal spending war with no real winners?
Ooh, good question.
That's a question we need to explore.
Yeah.
But first, it's important to acknowledge
that,
despite all the hype,
right,
we're still in the early stages of cloud adoption.
So you're saying there's still a ton of room for growth?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Think about all the industries that haven't fully embraced cloud computing yet.
Like what?
Healthcare, manufacturing, education.
Yeah.
The potential is enormous.
It is.
And as the cloud expands, so too will the opportunities for AI to revolutionize those sectors.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it that way.
It is.
And now we've got new players like Stargate
Right.
entering the hyperscale cloud space, which, for anyone who doesn't speak fluent tech, basically means they're building these giant data centers
Right.
that can handle massive amounts of information.
It's like adding another lane to an already crowded highway.
Oh, wow.
Things are about to get even more interesting.
So we've got this tension building.
Yeah.
Massive potential on one side,
Mm-hmm.
and these real-world challenges on the other.
Right.
It feels like we're at a crossroads,
Uh-huh.
and which path we choose is going to have huge implications for the future.
That's a very astute observation.
And it makes you wonder.
If these massive investments will actually turn into real-world profits, or if it's just a giant spending race with no clear winner,
Yeah.
and is DeepSeek a genuine threat or just clever marketing?
Those are some big questions.
They are.
But hey, isn't that what makes this whole AI thing so exciting?
It is exciting.
It's like the Wild West of tech. Anything could happen.
That's a great way to put it.
Right.
It's a dynamic and unpredictable landscape.
It is.
But with all this excitement and speculation,
Yeah.
we need to remember that AI has the potential to address some of the world's most pressing challenges.
Okay, now I'm intrigued.
Okay.
Tell me more.
Well, think about healthcare.
Okay.
AI could completely change the way diseases are diagnosed and treated.
Wow.
Imagine algorithms analyzing medical images
Yeah.
with incredible accuracy,
Right.
catching things like cancer earlier when they're more treatable.
Wow.
Or AI-powered systems that personalize treatment plans
Okay.
based on your individual genetic makeup and lifestyle.
That's amazing.
It is.
So it's not just about building faster computers and smarter robots.
Not at all.
It's about using AI to actually improve people's lives.
Exactly.
Wow.
And it's not just healthcare. AI could help us tackle climate change by optimizing energy grids,
Okay.
developing new renewable energy technologies,
Yeah.
even monitoring deforestation patterns in real time. The possibilities are truly vast.
They are.
Yeah.
So maybe all this spending isn't just about profits.
Maybe not.
Maybe it's about progress.
That's a hopeful perspective.
Yeah.
I think it's important to consider both the economic and societal implications.
Yep.
AI has the potential to be incredibly beneficial,
Right.
but it also carries risks.
What kind of risks?
Well, we need to make sure its development is guided by ethical principles and a commitment to human well-being.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of ethics,
Yeah.
there's been a lot of talk about AI being used for,
Right?
less than noble purposes.
Yeah.
Especially in countries with less than democratic governments.
Yeah. That's a valid concern.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, in the wrong hands,
Yeah.
AI could be used for surveillance, censorship,
Mm-hmm.
even to control populations.
Wow. That's scary.
It is a serious issue. It
Yeah.
really underscores the importance of international collaboration and establishing global norms for the responsible development and use of AI.
Okay, so it's not just a tech race.
It's not just about that.
It's a race to make sure AI is used for good and not evil.
You could say that.
Yeah.
It's crucial that democratic nations work together to guide AI development
Yeah.
in a way that benefits all of humanity, not just a select few.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to NVIDIA for a moment.
Okay.
We talked about their recent stock dip
Right.
and the factors that are contributing to it.
Mm-hmm.
But what does the long-term outlook look like for them?
Well,
Can they maintain their dominance in the AI chip market?
that's the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
NVIDIA has definitely established itself as a leader,
Right.
but the competition is heating up.
Oh.
Intel and AMD are stepping up their game,
Okay.
and then you have all these specialized startups popping up,
Oh, wow.
each with their own unique approach to AI chips.
So NVIDIA isn't just sitting back and counting their money.
Not if they want to stay ahead of the curve.
Right.
The AI industry is constantly evolving,
It is.
and companies that can't keep pace with innovation,
Yeah.
they'll quickly fall behind.
So true.
NVIDIA has a strong track record,
They do.
but they'll need to keep pushing the boundaries to maintain their edge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of pushing boundaries, what about DeepSeek?
Mm.
Could China's efforts in AI ultimately challenge NVIDIA's dominance?
It's certainly a possibility. DeepSeek has made some bold claims about their capabilities.
I've seen that.
And while there's still a lot of skepticism,
Yeah.
it would be foolish to underestimate them,
True.
especially given China's vast resources
Right.
and their government's clear commitment to becoming a global leader in AI.
Okay.
Yeah,
It sounds like the AI landscape is getting more crowded
it really is.
and complex
Well,
by the day.
definitely.
How is anyone supposed to keep up with all of this?
It's a challenge for sure.
It is.
But that's also what makes it so fascinating.
Okay.
This is a field that's constantly evolving,
Yeah.
with new discoveries and breakthroughs happening all the time.
All the time.
It's a truly transformative time to be alive.
I agree.
And an exciting time to be involved in the world of AI.
I agree.
Yeah.
Before we wrap things up, though,
Yeah.
I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier.
Okay.
The potential of AI in healthcare.
Okay.
That's a topic that both fascinates me and scares me. Can you elaborate on some of the specific ways that AI is being used in healthcare today?
Of course, one area where AI is already making a big impact is in medical imaging.
Interesting.
AI algorithms can now analyze X-rays,
Hmm.
CT scans,
Okay.
and MRIs
Right.
with incredible accuracy,
Wow.
often exceeding the capabilities of human radiologists
Right.
in detecting subtle abnormalities.
So AI could actually help doctors diagnose diseases earlier and more accurately?
Precisely. And early detection is often key to successful treatment,
Yeah.
especially for diseases like cancer.
That's incredible.
Yes.
It's like having a second set of eyes,
Right.
but with superhuman vision.
Exactly.
Are there any other areas of healthcare where AI is making waves?
Absolutely. AI is also being used to develop personalized treatment plans,
Okay.
taking into account a patient's individual genetic makeup,
Okay.
lifestyle, and medical history.
Wow.
This could lead to more effective treatments with fewer side effects.
It sounds like AI could truly revolutionize healthcare.
It really could.
But it also raises some ethical questions, doesn't it?
It does.
Like, who's ultimately responsible if something goes wrong during an AI-assisted surgery? Is it the doctor? The robot? The company that developed the software?
Those are excellent questions.
Yeah.
And they highlight the importance of careful consideration
Right.
and thoughtful regulation.
Yeah.
As AI becomes more integrated into healthcare,
Absolutely.
we need to establish clear guidelines and accountability frameworks
Yeah.
to ensure patient safety and ethical decision-making.
It's a lot to think about.
It is.
We've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
From the wild swings in the AI chip market
Right.
to the mind-boggling potential of AI in healthcare.
Yeah.
What's really striking me is the sheer scale and speed of these advancements.
I know. It's amazing.
It feels like we're on the cusp of a technological revolution.
It is a revolution, and it's happening right before our eyes.
Yeah.
It's both exhilarating and a little bit daunting.
It really is.
Yeah.
With all this talk about AI taking over the world,
Right.
are we focusing too much on the technology and not enough on the human element?
That's a very insightful point.
Thank you.
At the end of the day, AI is a tool.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
any tool,
Right.
it can be used for good or for ill.
Yeah.
The key is to make sure its development and deployment are guided by ethical principles
Yeah.
and a focus on human well-being.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
So if you were an investor looking at the AI landscape right now,
Okay.
where would you put your money?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
There are so many factors to consider.
Like what?
Well, the established players have the resources and the track record,
Right.
but the startups have the hunger and the agility to disrupt the market.
Yeah.
It really depends on your individual risk tolerance and investment goals.
So it's kind of like trying to pick the winning horse in a race where the rules are constantly changing.
Exactly.
Exciting, but a little nerve-wracking.
But
But that's also what makes the AI space so dynamic and fascinating.
Yeah, there's so much potential for growth and innovation.
Right.
It's anyone's guess who will ultimately come out on top.
Well said.
Thank you.
So we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
From the wild swings of the AI chip market
Yeah.
to the mind-boggling potential of AI in healthcare and beyond.
It's pretty incredible.
It's been a fascinating conversation.
It has.
And I, for one, am even more excited
Yes.
and maybe a little bit more cautious about the future of AI.
I think that's a healthy perspective to have.
I just do.
The future of AI is full of possibilities,
Right.
both positive and negative.
Yeah.
It's up to all of us to engage in thoughtful discussions,
Yeah.
consider the ethical implications,
Well,
and work towards shaping a future where AI benefits all of humanity.
couldn't said it better myself.
Thanks.
Thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed the episode, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions.